A very good afternoon, 8th class. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. So, students, today we will read our next chapter. This is human resources. So, as you know, students, human beings are the only creatures who are born with some unique characteristics. They have the power of thinking, logically observing, planning, communicating, skill, talent, development. These are characteristics of a human beings. These features and many more make them the greatest assets of the world. It is the people who use the natural resources of a country to produce goods and provide services to the people. Do you know, students? Since people are the most productive resources for the country, the Government of India created a human resources development in 1985 with an aim to improve people skill. Students, nature has given our earth many resources like land, water, soil, forest, animals, minerals, etc. And nature's bounty becomes significant only when people find it useful. Human resources or people are the most vital resources of this planet as they can discover, develop, enhance, utilize, convert, and maximize the other resources. That is why human beings are considered resources. It is the abilities of a human beings which help in transferring a physical material into a valuable resources. Got it? Now, before going about the chapter, let me understand some learning objectives are given here that we will read in this chapter, and these are human resources, distribution of population, density of population, factor affecting the distribution of population, and population change. So students, first of all, let we know a country may have abundant and varied natural resources such as minerals, water, and fertile soil. You know about the minerals? Minerals are the natural occurring substance found under the surface of the earth, and metallic and non-metallic are the types of minerals. Water also you know very well. Water is a very necessary things for the survival, and fertile soil is a very necessary for the growing of the plants. So it is the people who use the natural resources of a country to produce goods and provide services to the people. It is the people who give a country its literature, music, art, and culture. And it is people who impart education and skills to other people. Thus, the real resources of a country is its people. Okay, read this line carefully. The real resources of a country, what? Is its people. And in this chapter, human resources denotes country's people. Okay. Students, in ancient times, most of the work was done manually. Hence, the strength of a country was dependent on its population. More people meant more progress. However, since the development of science and technology, the situation has changed altogether. Now, a machine can do the work of many people, but running these machines requires skill. Okay, and therefore now the real asset of a country is not its large population, but its trained, skilled, and creative people. A large population of literature, untrained and unskilled people will not contribute to the development of a country. Instead, they will consume the resources and hinder the progress and development of the country. So, the all around development of a country depend not so much on size of population, okay, as on depends skills, awareness, technical knowledge, health, educational level, and age. Got it? So, like all other resources, human resources are also unevenly distributed in the world. The total population of the world is about 6.6 billion. The composition of population differ throughout the world. In term of numbers, male and females, age, working and non-working. So, and rural and urban and their literacy and ability. So, human resources like other resources are not equally distributed across the world. They differ in their educational level, age and sex. Their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. 90% of the world's population lives in about 10% of the total land surface. So that's why here is given the distribution of world population. Okay, let us understand the meaning of distribution of the world population. And I told you why it is necessary to get to know, because human resources like other resources are not equally distributed across the world. Okay, and its meaning, the pattern in which people are spread across the earth's surface. The distribution of population in the world is extremely uneven. Some areas are very crowded and some are sparsely populated. More than 90% of the population lives in the continents. And which continents? Of the northern hemisphere, while the rest of 10% is confined to the southern hemisphere. The horizontal spread of people on the earth's surface is known as the pattern of distribution of population. Got it? Listen, students. The number of person living per unit area, say per square kilometer on average, is called what? Density of population. Okay, so distribution of world population classified into these categories, and these are, first one here is a key one, areas of high population density. We can say thickly populated areas. The second one, areas of moderate population density. It means moderately populated area. An area of low population density. It means sparsely populated area. Okay. And first of all, here is a given areas of highly population density. It means places which are densely populated contain many favorable conditions such as warm climate and fertile soil, help in producing crops almost throughout the year. And moderately populated regions do not have a high populated density, but due to some development, people have settled there for agriculture, mining, industry. And sparsely populated area contain few people as they have a hostile environment and are difficult to live. Now, which one is good for living of the people? Which areas? The fertile river valleys of the industrialized parts of the world generally have a very high density of population because many favorable conditions are available there. The warm climate and fertile soil help in producing crops almost throughout the year. Okay. And population density, it means it refers to the number of people living in a unit area of the earth's surface. Okay. First of all, the first point also given, what? Distribution of population. That means they differ in their educational levels, age and sex. And population density means the number of people living in a unit area of the earth's surface. Got it? And the measurement of a number of people per unit area of land. And it is calculated by dividing the number of people by area and is usually shown as the number of people per square meter. The average density of population in the whole world is 45 person per square kilometer. You can also note down this point in your notebook. Okay. Means the average density of population in the whole world. How many? 45 person per square. And India की बात करें तो India is 324 person per square kilometer. Okay. So now this is a world population distribution. So look at this picture very carefully. What it shows, the largest countries by population density. Here and upper side you can see the largest countries by population. Okay, according to the survey of 2006. Which country has the largest population? So first one is given, China. China total population 1.32 billion. And India, the second one largest countries, where 1.2 billion. Okay, of population. This is the largest countries by population. And in downside, the largest countries by population density. Okay, density, here is the given. Density means, I told you, it refers to the number of people living in a unit area of the earth's surface, or measurement of numbers of people per unit area of land. Okay, so Bangladesh has 1045, then Taiwan 636, South Korea 480, Netherlands 392, Belgium 341, Japan 339, India 336, Sri Lanka 316, and also India has the 7th rank, has a 336. Okay, here is a given 334 at present now, but this is the survey of 2005. Okay, now you can see also the downside, world population by continents. Okay, so Asia has the largest population, that is 55%. And also you can see North America only 7%, Europe 21%. You can observe it attentively. Also the next picture shows the world population according to the 2018. India has 1.354 billion and China 1.415 billion. Which one is the largest? China, then India. After that, observe each and every country and their population. Okay, the country size in this map represent the size of the population. Each square denotes the green dot represent 500,000 people. Got it? Now, after that, we will get to know the various factors of the distribution of population. So, students, distribution of population around the world depends upon the two factors are given there, and it is also classified into two categories. The first one is physical factor, the second one is non-physical factors. The physical factors are determined by nature and cannot be completely controlled by man. Okay, it is totally depend on the natural activity. And the non-physical factor are products of human activities and are also known as human factors. Is it clear? So now first point, physical factors, and also examples are given. Relief, a landform, climatic condition, soil, water bodies, resources, natural vegetation. It means depends on natural activities, and these are so landforms or relief. Plains have the highest concentration of population due to the flat topography, which is suitable for agriculture, industry, and the development of transport facilities. And plateaus are less population than plains. Mountains and rugged surface have the lowest concentration of population. It means, students, the area which are easily accessible are most likely to be inhabited by people. That is why we find that the plains are densely populated and area of rugged relief like mountains and plateaus are not. Okay, and climate, the second one factor. Regions having extremely hot or cold climate are thinly populated, and regions having equable and moderate climate are always more densely populated. So which one is good? Equable and moderate climate. Climatic condition is one of the most important factors which affect density and distribution of population. Favorable climate provides convenient living condition for human beings. The higher density of population is found in area where the climate is favorable. But areas with harsh climate, that is areas that are hot, too cold and too dry and too wet, have lower density of population. For example, in India, the areas having dry climates such as western Rajasthan, the area with extreme cold climates such as Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir have low density of population. Clear? Now, soil. Area with fertile soil usually support large population. How? Human beings depend upon the quality of soil for agriculture. Areas of fertile soil can therefore support larger populations. That is why the region of fertile soil such as the alluvial plains of North India and coastal plains have higher density of population. On the other hand, the areas with less fertile soil like part of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat have lower density of population. Got it? Now the next one is water bodies. Areas having an abundant supply of water are densely populated. Means human can occupy even dry areas provided there is some amount of fresh water for domestic and irrigation purpose. The small settlement in the deserts prove this point. Now that another resources. It means mineral have always attracted human resources. The main reason for the development of uranium city is the desolated and cold northern Canada is the availability of uranium. Got it? And the next one, non-physical factors. These are social area where better amenities are available like education, health, housing, sanitation are more densely populated. Then culture. Places of cultural importance and religious places attract more people. Economic areas which provide large scale employment such as industrial regions support higher density of population. Then political, peaceful countries having stable government have denser population. Mineral resources, areas which is mineral resources attract denser population because it provide employment opportunities, giving opportunities of job to earn the money. Now the next one, transport facilities. Growth of population dependent on transport facilities in a region. Urbanization attracts a large number of people from rural areas to urban areas due to many purposes such as medical, educational, better civic facilities. And government policies also play an important role in the settlement process of the people at a place. This people attracts people to settle here. So these are the non-physical factors, also called as a human factors also. Now after that we will read change of population. The population change means the change in the number of people living in a given area during a specific period of time. Okay, the world population has undergone significant change throughout history. The change means the change in the number of people living in a territory during a specific period. And factors also given here of population change. These are birth rate and death rate, migration, life expectancy, age structure, literacy, rural-urban divide. So students, the population of different countries at different times may differ greatly in these components. So first point is there, birth rate and death rate. The difference between the birth rate and death rate of a country is called growth rate of population. Births are usually measured using the birth rate, the numbers of birth per 1,000 people, while death rate refers to the number of death per 1,000 person. Here is also a table given, shows the birth rate and death rate data according to the year. You can observe and you also can do the comparison between birth rate and death rate, and also the growth rate between the difference of birth rate and death rate. And the next one in migration. Migration means movement of people from one place to another, and migration changes the size of population of an area. A large number of people move from rural to urban area in search of jobs, opportunities, education and health facility. Okay. Life expectancy. This is the third factor of population change. It means the average number of years that an individual the expected to live is known as life expectancy. It means the average number of years that an individual. Okay, it is an important indicator to the health and the quality of life in a country. People generally live longer where the factors such as improved health care, proper food supplies, better sanitation and education are available. Where people do not have access to such facilities, the life expectancy is lower. Okay. Now after that, age structures. Age structure refers to the composition of a country by age groups, and it is an important element that Demographers used to make projection of the future of the growth or decline of a population. So you can observe given here the diagram. One side here is given the male record and the female also, and also their age groups. Literacy means ability to read and write with some level of understanding. People are not equally educated in every part of the world, and factors affecting literacy rate, these are economic development, urbanization, standard of living, social status of women, education facilities, and government policies. And literacy rate in India, top 5. Which state has the largest literacy rate? This is Kerala. Male 97.4, female 95.2, all over 96.2. After that, Delhi. And literacy rate in India, worst 5. Andhra Pradesh 73.4 in male, female 59.5, all over 66.4. So which one is good? Kerala and Andhra Pradesh, the worst literacy rate in India. Then rural and urban divide. The world is urbanizing very fast. The rural population is also increasing. The less developed regions have the maximum rural population, about 3 billion people. The most important things you also can note down in your notebook. It is the responsibility of government to provide basic amenities in rural areas to improve the quality of life. Now population pyramid also given here about the male and female in India according to the 2010, and China also. It means population pyramid help us to study the population composition of a country. The shape of the pyramid gives an idea about the population composition of a country. Okay, and a population pyramid give us information. What information? Percentage of population belonging to different age group. Age group here is a given. Okay, and percentage of population of male and female in each groups. Male and females in each groups. The bottom bars of the pyramid represents the 0 to 15 age group. You can see. And the top bars of pyramid represents the 65 and above the age group. The death rate and birth rate are both high in the country. Got it? Now importance of the population pyramid. What? It gives an idea about the population pressure on the resources on the country, and it helps the government to plan welfare programs for different age groups. In the last, India is fortunate to have a large number of young population, and it is important that we invest in education, health, and skill development of our human resources so that they can be an asset to the country. So now our chapter is over. I think you got it, student. So you will watch this video attentively. Let me revise again what we have studied in this chapter. We studied human beings are the most important resources on the earth. Got it? Means Humans being are the most important resources on the earth. Quality of a country's human resources is more important than quantity. Human resources are unevenly distributed in the world. The distribution of population in the world is uneven. Factors affecting population distribution are what? Physically features, climate, water, availability of minerals. Rivers, plains are densely populated while mountainous regions are sparsely populated. The difference between the birth and death rate is the growth rate of population. Literacy rates are indicative of the development level of a country, and migration is the movement of people from one place to another. Got it? So students, watch this video carefully and read the chapter. Thank you.